Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen and my channel, and today we're going to be making some brownies. Now, I'm not really a big brownie type of person, but I had all the ingredients and I figured I'll just make a video about it, okay? Because I had to use that Baker's semi-sweet chocolate, so let's get into it. So we have the Baker's semi-sweet chocolate. We have some vanilla extract, some Hershey's cocoa, 2 sticks of butter, some all-purpose flour, some sugar. We have 4 eggs and salt. Okay, so just make sure that only thing that needs to be room temperature is your eggs. Okay. I decided to brown my butter because I like the flavor that it gives off. It gives off like a nuttiness flavor, and I do it all the time when I make my chocolate chips. So I decided to brown my butter this time just to see the difference and see how it will taste in a brownie. So when you when you brown your butter, you're just gonna let it melt and wait till it get brown, right? And so you're gonna make sure you keep stirring your butter because you don't want it to stick at the bottom and you do not want it to burn, okay? So when you brown your butter, you're gonna brown it on a medium to low heat, okay? And it takes about I would say about 10 to 15 minutes for at least for 2 sticks of butter. Every time I brown butter, I do at least 2 sticks, unless I'm doing like a really, really big batch of chocolate chip cookies, right? So you're going to make sure you just keep stirring. Now, you will see these bubbles here, like it's foaming, and that's fine. Like, don't panic. That's what it's supposed to do, okay? Because all the fat is separating from the butter, okay? And it's basically clarifying. Once it clarifies, then it will get brown, okay? But so don't panic. This is exactly what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to foam up. When it cools down, the foam will go away. So don't think that the foam will like be in your baked goods or anything like that. Like this is exactly what it's supposed to do. So don't panic. All right, don't panic. So when the butter starts to brown, you will see some browning coming up from the middle. It will always start in the middle. See guys, I had the thing up maybe too high for me and it started popping everywhere. But anyways, it will start to brown in the middle, and you would just make sure you keep stirring. Like I said, and this brown butter smells so good. Like it gives you like a sort of like a caramelly smell in your house. It smells so good and I love it. I love doing this method. And you will see, look, all the brownies starting to come up, and that's when I like to like kind of leave it alone a little bit and just and let all the butter brown at one time. And then I'll just stir it. Now you will see some little specks at the bottom. And you're like, oh my God, what is that? It's fine. It looks like the bottom of like it looks like a tea bag or something like that. Like these little brown specks. And that's totally fine. You will include that in your baked goods. You will not throw that away. Like, it's fine. When I do chocolate chip cookies, I do it all the time, and I promise you it does not taste burnt. You would not taste that little stuff down there. So you will include it. Don't throw it away. I don't throw it away. I don't know if anybody else does, but I include it in my stuff. Okay. And you can kind of see it on my spatula as well, like those little brown things. And that's, guys, totally fine. But yeah, this is how you brown butter. So if you want to use that in like your chocolate chip cookie recipe, a brownie recipe, let me tell you, it's a game changer. It is, especially for chocolate chip cookies. It is a game changer. But anyways, let's get back to these brownies. So while our butter is cooling off a little bit, we're going to mix in our dry ingredients. Now I use 1 cup of all-purpose flour and I sift it. I always sift all-purpose flour, but just to get those little clumps out, it's different from cake flour. You will not use cake flour because we're not baking a cake, okay? Use the all-purpose flour. And I'm going to put in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder. I use the Hershey's cocoa powder. You can use whatever cocoa powder you have in your cabinet, whatever one you like to use. I know some people are iffy about cocoa powder, like which one they use. Just use any one you want to use, okay? Because this is America and you can do whatever you want to do, okay? And so I'm just going to sift all of that, especially that cocoa powder. Make sure you sift that because it has a lot of clumps in it. So especially make sure you use of that, okay? And so I'm just gonna mix it, whisk it together so it can just be all combined and smooth. I'm gonna whisk this together and I'm gonna set this aside, okay? So now that our dry ingredients are mixed in, we're going to go back to that brown butter and add in our chocolate, okay? So we're just going to combine this and mix it until it's well combined. And we're going to set this aside and we're going to do our eggs and sugar mixture. So we're going to add in our 4 room temperature eggs and 2.5 cups of white granulated sugar, okay? And so you can get a hand mixer and mix this in. You don't have to use like a KitchenAid stand mixer, anything like that with brownies. It doesn't take all of that, okay? You can use a regular hand mixture, and it gets the job done. So you're going to mix this until the yellow color turns like a pale white. It's not going to turn like white, but you're going to mix it until that yellow color is gone, okay? Essentially out of this butter, not butter and sugar, but out of this egg and sugar mixture. Then we're going to go in with our melted chocolate and brown butter, and we're going to mix that in with our spatula. So you're going to be done with that hand mixer. That's the last time you're going to use that, okay? And then you're going to add in, like I said, your brown butter and chocolate mixture that you did in this pot. And you're going to mix that in with your egg and sugar. You can tell this is a completely different thing, out of my element type of, because I'm used to like cakes. I'm a cake girl. I love cakes. Brownies, I'm not really big on brownies, so this is out of my element. So I'm getting like kind of confused and lost with the ingredients and like the steps, but we're gonna get this done today. We're gonna get it done today, okay? And so we're just gonna mix that in with your spatula. Just mix it until it's like well combined. Like just get all that stuff from the bottom and just kind of fold it in. And once you're done with that, you're just gonna add in your dry ingredients, and that's gonna be the last thing you do. I added in my dry ingredients just a little at a time because I didn't want that flour and that cocoa powder to be everywhere in my kitchen. I hate when flour like just pop out of the bowl that you're mixing in and it's just everywhere, especially cocoa powder because it's chocolate. I hate that. So I was like, you know what, let me just add this in a little bit at a time. And yeah, so I did that, and you can see that the batter is getting thicker and it's getting darker, so that lets me know that okay, this recipe works, and I think it's gonna be good. Okay, and I hope it's gonna be good. I was so scared when I did this brownie recipe because I hate wasting ingredients. And so we're gonna line our baking dish with some Baker's Joy, and we're gonna put some parchment paper on it, okay? I wish I had a pan that was a little lighter. This is the only pan that I found that would kind of like hold the brownie. This baking dish was so heavy. I hate using this. But it was the only one that was readily available, so I was like, okay, forget it. Like we gotta use it, okay? And so you can see, like, when I was lining that, when I was spraying the baking dish and putting the parchment paper, doing all of that, you can see that this brownie mix has gotten even thicker. It has gotten even thicker, but this is what happens when you use like melted butter and chocolate. It does this. Even like when I made chocolate frosting, it did this, and I had to keep like adding. It was just a whole mess. I had to keep adding like some other ingredient. Oh, I had to keep adding milk. I think that's what it was. It was just too much, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But that's okay because this is the brownie. It has a different texture, and it still it still came out good. Like when I took it out the oven, I was like, okay, because I was like so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, what if it turns out and it's like a cake? And I hate like the cake textures of brownies. Like I was like, I hope it's not too dry because I let the thing get too thick. I was just like so scared, y'all. But anyways, I had some leftover like Ghirardelli chocolate chips from my cookies. So I was like, let me just add that at the top. I didn't add any chocolate chips like in the middle of the brownie because I don't like my brownies to be like chocolate heavy. If that makes sense. I know some people like that oozy and gooey like in the center, but I don't like all of that too much. Like the chocolate chips on the top was perfect for me. So this is how it came out, and I was so happy, y'all. You see that you have that little crackling on the top, and I baked this on 350 for about 40 minutes. And it came out so good, y'all. I should have never put it on this rack because it was like moving every time I tried to cut it. And then too, this parchment paper it was giving me so many problems. I thought that it was just a thing like that I baked on it the last time. I was like, I don't really like this parchment paper. I got it from another store that I usually don't get it from. And I was like, you know what? I'm never getting this parchment paper again because it does not, like my baked goods tend to stick a little more and it gets a little like too waxy. I don't know. But I was like, I don't like this. So I think that's why the brownie was kind of sticking a little bit to the parchment paper. And then too, my mom was like, when is it gonna be ready? When is it gonna be ready? I'm like, girl, it gotta cool down. So now she bullied me into cutting it, and I couldn't get all the brownie off the parchment paper because it was still hot. But anyways, when I tasted it, it was so good. I was so scared, but it was good, y'all. It was like the perfect texture in the middle. It wasn't like too cakey. And like I said, I didn't put like chocolate chips in the middle and put like extra like chocolate chunks in the middle because I don't like that. It's like too much chocolate for me. Like the regular brownie, like that's enough chocolate for me. That all that extra stuff is just too much. Like it's too sweet for me. Like I can't take it. So that's why I didn't put it. You're more than welcome to do that if if that's what you love. But for me, I just couldn't do that. But the center wasn't dry at all. Like it wasn't dry at all. It was so good. It was so moist. Even like the next day, y'all, because I did this last night. Even the next day, it's still moist and good. So this recipe is really, really good. If you want to see more recipes like this, any more baked goods, like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what I should bake next because I be running out of ideas, y'all. But I'll see y'all in the next video.